What's up, Sneaky Nation? Sneaky P here, back with all the news after week number 10 of our Los Angeles Crusaders franchise. We had a bye week, which was good. We got Keyston Mack now. We'll have to adjust the lineup and add him back into it today. But looking up at our next game, we have the 7-2 Texans. We have been facing a pretty rough part of our schedule, but so far the Crusaders have been doing pretty good. We've won 6 in a row coming into this game. Again, we're coming off a bye week. That could be good or bad. We could have lost a little bit of momentum in that, but we also got Keyston Mack back. It's going to be interesting to see how he does in returning to the lineup. We know A.J. McCarron has been leading this Texans team with an incredible offense. You know, they've really been doing a good job of getting a whole bunch of players involved. And they have a lot of guys that can step up and make plays for them, so it's definitely not going to be an easy matchup by any means. And a loss to the Texans easily could put us back down into a wild card situation, because we can't really count on the Broncos losing another game. So keeping that in mind, it definitely makes it more difficult every single time we play a good team. When we have the Broncos, right now we have the same record as them. It's just a difficult situation to be in. The pressure is always going to be on throughout the remainder of the season, especially with championship expectations. Let's go ahead and see if there's any draft stories for us. It's absolutely must-see football in Los Angeles this week. You know it. Teams are finding it hard to run the ball against Auburn right now, in large part thanks to linebacker Luhata Okafor's recent level of play. Is that a guy? I feel like we've already had that guy in the draft. I could be wrong on that. We've already seen the rest. It's going to be interesting to see how Luhata Okafor is, though. For sure. Looking at it, our defense, it says it's really only ranked 23 right now. I think it's actually still a little bit worse than that. But we have that bye week. This is the interesting thing. The Texans, who have been thriving with their offense, it looks like they're more of a defensive team now. They're still top 10 in both categories, and that scares me. It's definitely not going to be an easy matchup. The Broncos did not have a game. They also had a bye week, so we're still both 7-2. And it looks like every team in our division has had their bye week. I wonder if that's overall with every team. I forget how late the bye weeks go. If anything, I would imagine this is the last one coming up. Again, we're going to have Keyston Mack back. I am stoked for that. Let's go ahead and fix the depth chart here. Give Yakov Moody some help. Granted, Yakov Moody's had quite a lot of help. Our team is really, really deep, and we tend to make a lot of good plays. Why is Mendenhall ahead of Julius Baker? I don't remember doing that. That's interesting. Anyway, we'll go ahead and move everything around like that. Keyston Mack, welcome back. We have survived without him. I was really worried because, again, we got off to such a slow start to begin the season. I thought not having Keyston Mack was going to hurt us more than it did. Luckily, Yakov Moody stepped up. This new playbook's really doing a good job of allowing us to get other players involved. And that's kind of helped us lead to this record, I feel like. You know, I definitely feel more comfortable with our playbook this year than I did last year. Derek Carr, 47 of 62. 539 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Holy cow. Wow. We got Darrell Washington, 9 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception, 1 fumble forced, and 1 fumble recovered. A monster game from him. Jenkins with 16 tackles for a free safety. That's pretty ridiculous. It makes me think the Bengals got passed all over them, and he was just kind of the last line of defense there. Andy Dalton also for the Bengals, 42 of 54, 476 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for him. Yearly awards, let's check it out. And at the top of the list, Derek Carr. Of course, after that last game, and the Eagles are 9-0, you definitely have to consider that as well. A.J. McCarron, the guy we're about to see, second in line. Stuart Denny, third on this list. So this next matchup is going to be very interesting to kind of see who comes out on top there. Blake Bortles at 4, T.R. Foreman 5, Tremaine Small 6, Chaz Jenkins 7, Jared Trahan 8, Aaron Rodgers 9, and Devin Golden also on the list down there at number 10. Coach of the Year, Chip Kelly, number 1. Van Joswiak 2, Chuck Pagano 3, Bill O'Brien 4, Joshua Pinto 5, Andy Reid 6, John Harbaugh 7 with the Broncos. I didn't even notice that in our matchups there. Jack Kerrigan 8, Jim Harbaugh 9, Rex Ryan going to be at number 10. The rest of the awards I'll probably scroll through pretty quickly, guys, so if you'd like to see them and read about them, Just hit that pause button. We're going to go through this kind of quickly. Offensive Player of the Year, Devin Golden 1, Bortles 2, McCarron 3, T.R. Foreman 4, Denny 5, Small, Bell, Chaz Jenkins, Andy Dalton, and Nick Foles rounding out the list. Defensive Player of the Year, Ryan Shazier going to be number 1, Donald Butler 2, TJ Ward 3. Was that the guy? No. Demario Davis 4, Terry Fuller 5, Brooks Reed 6, Laurinaitis 7, Miller, Malcolm Jenkins, and Khalil Mack. Malcolm, man, he's having a good season. And Khalil Mack all the way down at number 10. Usually Mack is much higher on this list. He really hadn't been getting the sacks like he has in previous years, though. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Junior Mitchell. He torched us, so we know all about him. Kenny Green as well, the tight end. Unbelievable. All three of these guys are in our division. We've seen them all quite a bit. Tamario Holmes at number 4. Mike Middlebrooks, another guy that we've seen quite a bit of. Buck Ware at number 6 here. Lindley at number 7. Desi Hart, another division guy. Asian Lowe, another division guy. And Julius Gresham. So a lot of guys from our division rounding out this list here. Devontae Simmons, number 1 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Hunter Hurst at number 2. Noble 3. Travis at 4. Taj Glenn at 5. Abdullah Azur going to be at number 6 there. Deshaun Beckwith at 7. Javon Stills 8. Corey Tarpley 9. And Damian Reed at 10. So 5 Crusaders on the top 10 Defensive Rookie of the Year list for the AFC, man. We knew we were playing a lot more rookies, and maybe that's why our defense struggled so much early on, but they're starting to kind of get the hang of things, and things are looking good. Best quarterback, Stuart Denny, McCarron, Bortles, Foreman, Small, Jenkins, Farrell, Andy Dalton. This is Philip Farrell, who's now with the Jets, not Mitch Farrell for the Chargers. Foles and Geno Smith at running back. Devin Golden leading the way. Le'Veon Bell 2, Junior Mitchell 3, Tamarcus Easton and Jeremy Hill at 4 and 5. The Colts also with 2 guys back-to-back, Eldon Strong and Lance Dunbar. Shane Vereen, Monte Ball, and Giovanni Bernard going to round out the list. Jawan Sellers number 1 here. Keenan Allen number 2. LaRon Curse 3. Jawan Lumpkin 4. Vincent Jackson 5. We got Yakov Moody at number 6. I don't know that we have had a wide receiver on this list in a long time, so it's pretty cool to see that. Maybe since Keaston Mack's rookie season, actually. I don't know. Matt Ward 7. Birch at number 8. Nicholas Moon, who is now with the Colts now. I guess he left the Bills at number 9. And Sammy Watkins is going to be number 10. Offensive line, we're probably going to have quite a few of our guys here. Again, I'm just going to kind of scroll down quickly. Defensive line, Matthew McCown actually at number 1. J.J. Watt number 2. We're about to see him. Cliff Averill 3. Clark 4. Shelby Harrison, Keegan Gibson on the list as well. Going down the list, defensive back T.J. Ward number 1. Chris Culliver, wow, number 2 there. Myron Poole is at number 3. Forrest at number 4. Down the list we go. And kicker Prater 1. Dustin Hopkins there. Let's see if we have... Oh, we don't have our guy. That's interesting. NFC Offensive Player of the Year, Derek Carr, Rodgers, McCoy, Trey Peterson, Colin Kaepernick, Branton Tracy, a guy that we just saw pretty recently there. Defensive Player of the Year, DeLancey Miller, back at it. He had a down season, it seemed like, last year, I believe. But it looks like he is back in his old form, leading the way for Defensive Player of the Year for the NFC here. Lamar Easley, another Eagle on this list as well as Robert Mathis. All right, so they got quite a few players stepping up here. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jameson Shipley, Jalston McClain, Wesley Noble, Mike Bird, Jared Nixon, Alexander Boykin, Jared Chaney, Miko Thomas, Doran Timmons, and Vlad Paul. That was the guy we looked at. Bjorn Hart is going to be Defensive Rookie of the Year here. Kilo Duncan, 85 overall. Raymond Ewing, 74. Stanley Ramsey, Jarmon Donnelly, Leandre McDonald, Terrace Harvin, Quentin Thompson, Vladimir Britt, and Wand Wade going to round out the list. That's another Eagles rookie there, over 80 overall. Wow. Derek Carr leading the way at best quarterback. Again, we're going to kind of scroll through these pretty quickly. So if you'd like to, just hit that pause button if you want to see it a little bit more closely. Adrian Peterson, the best running back. Zach Stacy going to be at number 2. No Carlos Hyde on the list for the 49ers this year. That's pretty interesting to see considering how good their running attack was last year. It does not seem to be striking near as much. Bruton the Crouton, the number 1 wide receiver in the NFC as of now. Scrolling down the list, Christopher Reed and Akeem Nicks at the bottom there. Rich Polk, Iupati. And the 49ers only 6-3 right now. Things are not off to that great of a start for them there. Defensive line, you got Geno Atkins on the Panthers now. Carlos Dunlap is going to be number 1. A few juniors back-to-back there. Down the list, defensive back Alteron Verner leading the way. Earl Thomas going to be number 2, and the Seahawks are sitting at 5-4 right now. So the NFC West is starting to struggle a little bit, it seems. They've really kind of dominated the NFC throughout this entire series, but things are not looking as good for them at this point in time. Guys, that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button. It helps me out quite a lot. And I will see you guys in Week 11 as we take on the Houston Texans. Later.